Our next guest is no stranger to blockbuster franchises. You know him from The Lord of the Rings, from Planet of the Apes, from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and many more. Andy Serkis is now taking on his next challenge alongside Idris Elba, who returns to his role as Luther, a detective now on the hunt for a sociopathic serial killer who's terrorizing London. Let's take a look at the upcoming film, Luther, the Fallen Son.
Who's this? You know who it is.
Man!
Go, 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 go.
That's it. Let's go. Stop!
Okay, we left us on a cliffhanger there. Andy Serkis, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I believe I read that you said when you read this script, the story was so dark you wanted to throw it in the trash and take a shower afterwards.
That is 100% true. Yeah, I mean, I played some villains in my time, but this guy is a leap beyond.
Is that a draw to it?
I mean, I really did think I'm not going to do this, but then actually when I really investigated what it was about, and he is the tip of the iceberg in terms of the monster in the movie. The monster itself is technology and the use of technology and how we've kind of given up responsibility in policing it. And David Roby, the character I play, is someone who knows that and is a master at manipulating people through that, through the use of surveillance and watching people and then shaming them as a result.
Right, your character's a billionaire, right, with access to all in the dark web and things like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Did you tighten up your internet passwords after you read this?
I tell you, a lot of people, I mean, no, the fact of the matter is, I haven't, and actually, you should, you know, because all this stuff is out there, as we know, and it's powerful stuff, and that I think is, again, that's the thrill of what Luther is trying to do, which is to take down this person who is someone who is abusing the technology in the way that he does. It's horrific.
I was going to ask you, we were talking about being fans of the show already, and you already joined it. You're no stranger to joining some pretty big enterprises. Do you change how you approach a project if there's already this kind of universe and story that's being told?
You know, I think is when you join something like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, for instance, you know, you're aware that you're a custodian of the role for a particular period of time, or like playing Alfred in Batman. You know, you're given the mantle to carry for a while, and then eventually you know you're going to be passing it on. It's a bit like playing a part in a Shakespeare play, for instance. You know, someone else is going to play King Lear next year.
Of course.
You know.
Yes. How is it going toe to toe with Idris Elba?
It's amazing. He's such a formidable actor, brilliant actor, and obviously he owns this role completely. He's played it for so many years, and being on set and facing off with someone who is so in the moment is really exciting.
And I believe he's also a pretty decent boxer, and I think you guys have some pretty physical scenes.
We had a number of toe-to-toes in this, yeah, and I always came out okay. I think I held my own against him. But he is a kickboxer. He's a trained martial artist, but we had a great stunt team, and I learned how to, through my character, sort of deflect and duck and dive and use you know, use my weapons.
Talk to a few actors when they're playing villains, and I know you've played several now. This one, as you said, takes it maybe even a step further. But actors always say the core of it is, you know, finding the humanity in the character. Nobody's all good or all bad. Is that still the case for your character here?
You have to do that. I mean, and in this case, it is someone who is a kind of lonely, isolated individual who is completely desensitized, is unable to connect with humanity. The only way that he can do it is by observing them and picking up little bits of them. He's almost like a vampire in a way. But there is that kind of incel kind of world that he lives in, and so the dark web becomes a safe haven for people like him. So he is a man who thinks he's on a mission to take down Luther, who he thinks is a hypocrite because he's a kind of vigilante cop who is the arbiter of his own moral universe, and so therefore who's he to judge how we live our lives is his argument, you know. So I think you're beholden as an actor to kind of find something that the audience can relate to in some way. Otherwise, what's the point?
And you're obviously no stranger to some pretty well-known franchises. They're continuously expanding the Lord of the Rings universe. Any interest in returning there?
Always. I mean, look at anything that Peter Jackson lays his hands to. He is such a magnificent filmmaker. I love New Zealand and the whole team down there. They're like my second family. So of course.
If I could get work to take me to New Zealand, I'm there in a minute.
Come on, I'm sure you can play. I'm sure you could play an elf.
I might be a bit tall for that role, but
they can be tall.
Is that right? Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. You're right. Andy Serkis, thanks so much for being here. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Luther, the Fallen Son will be available to stream on Netflix tomorrow. Can't wait to see it.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.